What happens if a situation arises that you were unprepared for? A situation such as a blizzard, a tornado, or being locked down due to a virus. Put yourself in any possible situation that could arise. Now ask yourself, what would you do? Where would you go? What do you need? Are you ready? Because what if tomorrow? Welcome to another episode of the What If Tomorrow podcast. I'm Philip.
And I'm Mark.
And tonight, man, I first and foremost, our last... Hey, Enzo, what's going on, buddy? Our last episode with Mark Goodwin. I want to apologize to everybody for the technical difficulties. It was pretty rough. But we're going to try to get him back on, try to get things kind of sorted out. Beforehand, my internet, I mean, it was just a night full of technical difficulties. My internet was in and out. We had to talk back and the echo and all that good stuff, and it was just a rough show. We powered through it, let Mark speak. Mainly, he ran the show. I mean, it was pretty tough. But to everybody that's subscribed to us on YouTube, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I don't know, just from that one show, I think we've gotten around 100 subscribers on YouTube. So we definitely appreciate it. But moving on, we're going to get some of this stuff out of the way real quick. Some of the necessary stuff, if I can find it here. There we go. Here we go.
Hey, this is Mark with What If Tomorrow and What If Tomorrow on the Fringe. Be sure to check out our website, whatiftomorrowmedia.com, and look at our cool merch. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, posters, and more. Our affiliates are Duke Cannon, EMP Shield, My Patriot Supply, and Conflicted the Game. Or check out buymeacoffee.com/whatiftomorrow and buy us a coffee. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and share on both Facebook and YouTube. It helps get our content out to others and help our channel grow. Now on with the show.
And on that note, I want to mention a week ago, we rolled over 4 years doing the podcast. It was our 4-year anniversary.
We sure did.
We did. I totally forgot about it, man. Honestly, we need to do something. We need to get a hold of the old crew, Willie and Ben and Joe, and see if they just want to jump on and do like a celebratory,
a reunion podcast.
I don't even know that Ben and Joe's really in it anymore. I know Ben's busy with his business. I think Joe's helping him out. Last I knew, Willie, he's off doing Willie things. I don't even know that he's podcasting anymore. Yeah, it's just it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it.
And quite honestly, sometimes it does it. Sometimes it feels like a job, and that's kind of what Mark and I were talking about backstage is I've actually been checked out the last few weeks. Not really paying attention to a lot of things and just because it does weigh on you. I know I've said that a million times on here. But the current events, man, if you let them, they'll beat you up. So you kind of have to check out, and that's kind of where I've been at the last couple of weeks. Besides that, it's been hectic at work and just life, life happens. And, we got into, 2 weeks ago, we had Vacation Bible School for the kids and we were helping out there at church. And, I love podcasting. I really do. But there's times you kind of got to step back and take a deep breath and
take care of business.
And that's kind of what I've done the last couple of weeks anyway, is just... okay, it's time to reset, refocus. All right, we're into year 4. I honestly didn't think it would last this long. Now there's 2 shows. Mark, you're doing an awesome job with On the Fringe. I've stepped away just to kind of give myself a peace of mind, try to get another podcast going when I'm finding time. And that's the hard part for me, is doing the study because it's a solo podcast. It's a solo podcast, so I've got to write everything and figure everything out. I don't have anybody to bounce back and forth with like you and I doing the conversation, or if we have guests or whatever. So it's tough. I've got the second episode recorded on it, and I'm like, I just haven't had time to edit and all that because it's pretty bad. You know, it's totally, it's a totally different animal. Doing
I
a
tried doing it
solo
by
podcast.
myself. It failed
Yeah,
spectacularly.
it is. It's a totally different because because used to when we first started out, we'd be up here in this little room where I'm at. Mark and I across the desk from each other, talking to each other before we started streaming. Then I got decent internet and streaming, but it's totally different because you can play off each other's cues and they're, just kind of, Mark and I have done this long enough. We pretty well know what the other one's going to do, and but it's been fun. It's been a fun ride.
It has been.
Made some good friends, I feel like, at least to the show. We're hoping to get some more things working. Mark and I are kind of working on a project in the background that's going to be hopefully big. Probably not starting out, but I don't want to make any really true announcements yet because we haven't taken the time to sit down and really plan yet because they've got other things going. With that being said, I do want to throw a shout out there to Pam and Jess and the Bordertown Paranormal crew because in about a month and a half is what, the 6th annual Bordertown Paracon?
Yeah, I believe it is the 6th annual on September 28th.
Yeah, and it's getting bigger and bigger. They're doing awesome things. I've really enjoyed the last few years of being a part of it. It's been fun. It really has. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Jess, I just got done giving you guys a pitch for the Bordertown Paracon. And don't forget the Bordertown Strange podcast on Wednesday nights. We have also went back to streaming on Rumble if you don't want to do the YouTube thing or the Facebook thing. But since we aren't able to stream at the Facebook podcast group, we decided to drop that. We're still on Facebook, but we're on the What If Tomorrow Media page. So if you're not a member there and you want to catch it there, go like it. But if you don't like YouTube, you don't like Facebook, go check us out on Rumble. We've been over there for a while. We haven't streamed there for a while, but we're going to pick back up with this show. See, that's kind of all that good stuff out of the way. Let's see, so here we go. We're going to do this since it's been a while.
What in the wide world is going on here?
I love that movie.
Yeah. They could never make it today.
Absolutely not, man. It's an awesome movie.
You know what we need to do? We need to do the whole Mystery Science 3000 thing,
we do.
But with blading saddles.
We do.
Get the group
awesome.
together, put the camera behind us.
Well, we could do a watch party on here.
Yeah.
We could do a watch party on here if anybody's game, like Enzo or Jess or Pam or anybody.
Yeah, I bet we could do that.
Or Joe and Ben. I mean, that'd be fun with those guys. Yeah, maybe we need to do that just like on a weekend or something. Get together and do a watch party.
Yeah, I don't know if we could share it with everybody or not, but
we could probably do it on Rumble.
Oh, probably.
We could probably be better off with Rumble. Speaking of, I want to check out. Let's see if we're going. Yeah, it's showing we're live. Okay, good. So I'm trying to remember a lot of this Rumble stuff. So if I'm bouncing back and forth kind of out of it, I'm double checking it, making sure it's good to go. But anyway, I'm going to save my first one for last because I have a theory. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't even know if the video is real or not, but I want to play it. But what do you think about what's going on in England? Let's jump off this road.
Okay.
I mean, have you paid much attention to that?
I've not paid much attention to it,
okay,
honestly.
fair enough.
There's enough stuff going on in the United States for me to ignore.
Yeah, you're not lying. But I think it's pertinent to what is or could be or could happen here. Yeah, Ezra, I think Enzo's in.
I like it.
With what's going on in England, it's a two-tier justice system, basically, just like it is here. A lot of the immigrants, they have kidnapped and stabbed, and raped girls and all this, and they're let out of jail like overnight, and people are speaking out against it online, and they're being arrested for speaking out. I
Yeah,
mean, thankfully for now, we have our First Amendment, and then like their head of police, chief of police, whatever, said, I don't know, I didn't go real far into it, but I did watch the video of this guy saying if the Americans are doing it, he's going to try to extradite the Americans to charge them over there for hate speech and all that. I'm like, well, bring it.
See how that works out for you.
Yeah, bring it. But
Yeah,
what's happening?
I'm sorry if you're letting a group of people, just because they're immigrants to your country and you don't want to offend them, kidnap, rape, and traffic young girls, then you, sir, are evil and should hang on the gallows next to them.
Yeah. And there's a quote from the video. It says, you can be prosecuted for posting material online which incites violence or hatred. You can also be prosecuted for sharing this material. Your online actions can have consequences. Okay. I mean, sure, I kind of agree with that in somewhat. I mean, it can have consequences.
Yeah.
But
just telling the truth shouldn't cause you to get arrested.
Right. But I can see that happening here, quite honestly, because the First Amendment is definitely under attack.
It is.
And I like the headline here. It's on the Blaze. England goes full Orwell. You know, UK government jails citizens for social media posts. In my mind, in my thought process, social media is now the town square.
Yeah.
You know, sure, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I'll say that on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
That's why when I'm looking for things, I try to be objective. I try to say, okay, where's the truth in this? And because the truth is hard to find anymore.
It really is. Nobody's interested in it anymore.
No, I mean, it's for clicks. It's for agenda.
It's
so
about
there's
making
not
money.
very much. Yeah, there's not much I trust. You know, and I love, and I'm being sarcastic when I say I love, but I love all the people posting online that are, well, you know, you're a MAGA hack, and you do nothing but watch Fox News, and that's where you get your news from and all that, as opposed to them getting their news from CNN, MSNBC, and all that. There is no true news in the mainstream anymore.
Even Fox News has turned into a liberal rag.
Well, yeah. I mean, but they're all commentators. They're all giving you their opinions.
Yeah, there's no facts.
No. There's very few websites I trust. I got a wasp flying around my head up here, so if you see me looking around and all that, there he is.
I mean, I remember Walter Cronkite. He was a liberal. You wouldn't have known it by watching his show. He gave you the facts and let you make up your own mind. Enzo's
right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but that's what the news is supposed to do. That's what the press is supposed to do. Is to be honest. They're to keep the government in check. Enzo said, depending on how the election turns out, they may let him extradite us. I can see it, man.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. You know what we need to do? We need to, and I haven't read it in a long time, we need to do a show on 1984 and compare it to what's going on now.
I could reread the book. It was a good book.
You know, I'll probably listen to it, honestly. But we need to make comparison, you know, because, you know, I forget what it's called, the ministry or whatever, you know, and their thought crimes and all this stuff.
Is that an Animal Farm?
Yeah. Yeah. And what's
we're
crazy
living
to
it.
think, yeah. But what's crazy to think is they're both written by Orwell.
Yeah. Well, he wrote them as warnings, not as playbooks.
Yeah, and I think there's a mixture of Brave New World mixed in as well.
Yeah.
You know, with all the the drugs and all that, and I don't know. That's a whole nother soapbox to go down, or another rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, are we turning into that world? I think there's an argument to be made that we're turning into the world of 1984. You know, how often have you heard, if you see something, say something? You
Right.
know, oh well.
Hell, we hear it at
see
work.
Mm-hmm. We see it all the time. You know, I mean, people being, and now we're seeing it from the right as well, but people being canceled because they view things a certain way. Now, I will say this, that it seems the personal attacks come more from the left, trying to get people
They do.
fired. I've seen comments, oh, well, I'm going to report this to your work and get you fired just because I disagree with you or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it seems to be
that
now.
crap is. It's. Can't even think of the word for it. It's
Right.
inane, amongst other things.
Right. You know, but both sides, I've seen people get so offended. And hey, there goes that wasp. I don't know if you saw it on the camera.
I saw it.
But
It looks very large.
yeah, it's right in front of my lens. But you see, I lost my train of thought. Dang wasp. But you sit there and watch both sides. And you see the vitriol and people getting offended over from somebody that they'll never meet.
Right.
That's what kills me. And sure, there's things on there that make me so dang mad. But I'm like, wait a minute. Let's be objective. That's all they're doing. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying to get likes. And they're trying to troll, you know, and they hit you in the gut, you know, in the gut level. And then you got to stop and you got to say, wait a minute, you know, that's all they're trying to do. I can prove they're wrong, but I'm not going to engage in that discourse because it's a waste of time. You're not going to change anybody's mind through social media.
No.
But I don't know. I just think that I think it could be argued that we're turning into 1984.
I don't think you're wrong.
I think it'd be a fun show to do. Maybe a disturbing show to do. I don't know.
And we might scare ourselves a little bit.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I can see what's going on in England because for the listeners, if you haven't heard it, but I know for the ones that have been around a while.
I realize that the gallows comment might have been a little bit inappropriate. And I apologize
right.
to any of our listeners who might have heard it and been offended.
But I can see it happening here. 20 years ago, I probably couldn't have.
No.
But for those of you listening that have listened to us for a while or whatever, you've heard us talk about the Bubba effect.
Yeah.
Watch what's going on in England with the English citizens. The government's not doing anything, so the people are taking it into their own hands. That is a prime example of the Bubba effect. That's
Well,
just
their
food for
government
thought.
has been so infiltrated with foreigners
Right,
that it's hardly even the English government anymore.
right. You know, and I would almost argue that a lot of our government has as well.
And you're not wrong.
You know, Ilhan Omar, just to name one off the top of my head, you know, she's from Somalia. Not saying that she shouldn't, well, as a foreigner who is an American citizen, she has every right to run for office. Not president, not the presidency, but she has every right to run for office. Now, my bias, she shouldn't even be in office. Just because of the circles she runs with.
Right.
You know, I mean, not to mention that she seems to support terrorist organizations. You know, I may be wrong, but
Which
I
could
don't
be
think I am.
construed as treason by the Constitution.
Right. But nothing will happen. And that's the thing.
No.
I mean, how many times in the last 2 or 3 months have we all seen something happen and we're like, they need to go to jail for that, but nothing's going to happen.
Right, exactly.
Not to mention,
both
you know,
sides.
the last, yeah, not to mention in the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, have we said that? I'm just saying the last couple of months. It's like it's speeding up. Does it seem like that to you, or is it just me?
It does. Seems like it's ramping up.
You know, so I don't know. It's just kind of, it's unnerving to watch.
It is.
Knowing where we live as a nation. Hey, Sylvian, how you doing, sir? Good to see you, man. But knowing where we are as a nation, or where we are from as a nation, and what we used to stand for. I'm kind of on a soapbox here, but
It's your soapbox,
no-
man.
right. But knowing what we used to stand for, it sickens me, man. It really does. It sickens me to see what's going on. And I guess maybe, I mean, I'm sure it's by design. Somebody's design.
Right.
You know, not ours, obviously. Not the average American person, left, right, middle, whatever. I'm sure it's not their design. Because I believe ultimately we all want the freedom we used to have.
Right.
You see the argument, you know, from the left, oh, Trump's going to overthrow democracy. Well, there's multiple arguments to that. But I think the average person wants to hold on to their freedoms.
I think so. I mean, that's the natural tendency of a human being is want to be free.
Yeah.
Or conversely, now I'm gonna throw this out. It's also a natural tendency of some people to not only want to be free but to enslave others.
I can agree with that.
And I really think that that's what we're seeing worldwide. Not so much physical enslavement, is they're trying to, many countries are trying to mentally enslave their people, brainwash them to getting nice little drones who don't think, they just produce.
You know, oh, go ahead, sorry.
And I am by no means under the illusion that the America of my childhood was perfect. There is no perfect in the world. But I think we've lost the opportunity. We were on a good track, and then I think we've lost many opportunities to really make freedom grow. I think people have, in Washington and state capitals across the country, have looked and seen, I like being in charge. I want more of that.
Yeah, and it's the old saying, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
It does.
You sucker. But I'm also hopeful. There he goes again. I'm about to whack him with my hat.
He's gonna whack
Hopefully
you.
nobody from PETA's watching. There we go. Oh, you sucker. You guys are going to get on and watch me fight with a wasp.
I'll do a video of me eating a nice juicy steak and see if PETA gets it.
But anyway, distractions. I'm hopeful because in a lot of ways I see the pendulum starting to swing back the other way.
Yes, a lot of people
I
are
think the
waking up
average
to what's
person-
going on.
I think the average person is absolutely waking up. I'm not specifying left, right, whatever. I think the average person, somebody you could have a good, decent conversation with, you can sit over, the table and have a beer. You might have your disagreements, but at the end, you're still going to be friends.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think anybody in the country is happy with anything that's going on now, no matter what side they're on.
No.
I think a lot of people are starting to realize we don't need to take sides. We need to stand together.
Right. And we do. My only concern is it too little too late. I think
I'm
that
afraid
remains to be seen. Me too.
I'm afraid it may be too late. I'm like Mark was saying last time we were on here. The economy is going to crash.
Yep.
Whether it's a soft crash or a hard crash, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
because
go ahead, sorry.
they've devalued our currency to the point where it's almost to that tipping point.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a good segue into the next topic that I was going to hit on, which is the
I wasn't even trying.
Let's see, Big Lots. I know we have one down in Bartlesville.
Yeah.
They're going to close up to 315 stores. Warren Buffett, and this isn't the right article. He owns more treasury bills than the Federal Reserve. But he has sold a ton of shares from Apple. And I'm sorry, I would take financial advice from this man. Quite honestly, I would.
Say what you want about him. He knows
Right.
where the money's at.
Right. And with that being said, the stock market was down again today. The Dow Jones
been quite volatile.
Yeah. So it's been pretty rough. I don't pay a lot of attention to stocks. I mean, I do for our 401k because I know it's probably going to dry up. But it's a sign of the times. And like you said, Mark, here a couple weeks ago, made the point, that there's no coming back. It's going to crash. It has to.
Yeah. The bubble's got to burst.
Yep. It's too heavy. And really, for talking preparedness, that's really the biggest thing that we can talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Make sure your things are in order. I'm not going to sit there and
simplified as much as possible.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to have a house payment. You're going to have a car payment.
Yep.
Try not to run up any credit cards. And I seriously, I know I say this all the time, invest in gold and silver. Physical gold and silver.
Yep.
Not those share plans where it's all in a vault someplace.
Nope.
And it's still affordable. Gold is a little rough. But
yeah, I want to say last week. You know what? That sucker. I don't have
hell, even copper. I've been seeing copper for sale on some of the trading sites.
Oh, man. Look out, tweakers. Yeah, the tweakers are going to have a heyday with the copper.
Old penny now is worth more for the metal it is than its metal content, or than its monetary content.
I believe it.
Yeah, they're worth more as scrap metal.
Yep, I believe it. But you got to have a bunch of them because that's by weight.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, the inevitability of it. Hey, that's a great investment, Enzo. Enzo said, "How about investing in copper jacketed lead?"
Shh, that's my secret.
Yep. I'll give it to you one at a time. No, I don't want to rehash kind of what we always talk about. You know, your 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, all that stuff.
If you haven't heard it by now, you're never going to hear it.
Right. Hey, there's my wife. Hey, babe. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rehash that. If you're unsure, we have several basic preparedness shows that talk about it. Right now, we're just trying to bring awareness to what's going on. I mean, that's the biggest thing is the economy. Watch it. You know, put safeguards in place. Like Mark said, start trying to get out of debt. You know, try to get everything paid off that you can pay off. And that's kind of where my wife and I are at right now. We're pushing towards that goal. Sure, life's going to happen. You know, something's going to come up. It always does. It never fails. You know, your car breaks down or a storm hits and knocks out a window or lightning strikes or whatever, you know, knock on wood. Oh, Enzo, she won't do that. She won't even come up here if there's a wasp flying around. I'm not scared of it. I'm just watching it. It's distracting.
Well, it looks so big when it flies in front of your camera.
Does.
It's like
Looks
Rodan coming in.
But yeah, do what is best for you. I mean, I can't tell you what's best for you. You know what it is. If you're in a position to buy extra food, to buy storable water or whatever, you know, whatever you need to do to get your preps in position. That way it's easier on you. And because when it does come, who knows how long it's going to last. Yeah, my wife said she'll keep a few electric fly swatters around. She said she ain't going to save me. Love you too. But, yeah, there we go. He's got the ticker up.
Yep. That's the current
Copper
price.
$4.07. Gold $2,484. Silver $28.15. Platinum $951.
Now that's strange that platinum is worth less than gold.
Yeah, I know it, isn't it?
Platinum and palladium are usually more expensive, but rhodium,
Yeah,
that stuff's pretty valuable.
yeah. I mean, I don't even know what rhodium is. I don't know what it's used for. I guess
It's
the
used
tech
a lot in
sector, maybe?
electronics, and it's yeah. Rhodium and palladium both.
Okay.
I'll let that run for a little while.
But yeah, so do your best to get out of your debt. To just stock up. You know what's best for you. My wife just said she may or may not have shut me out of the master bedroom or bathroom when we were remodeling it because there was a bunch of wasps. Oh, she shut me in it. Yeah, she did. Because I had to open up the ceiling and there were some wasp nests in there. Rhodium is used in catalytic converters. Okay. Jess, did they build fancy roads with it? I don't know. Who knows what they? If they do, they don't last very long.
No, it's because the tweakers come pry it up.
Right? You see them out there with orange vests and sledgehammers on. But let's see. This is one I thought was interesting. This really isn't negative. It's kind of
We
a
don't
positive
want
market.
all negative stuff.
No, did you have anything pulled up that you were looking at?
The U.S. National Debt Tracker.
Oh yeah,
Anybody want to see what the national debt is?
yeah, go for it.
Yes.
I mean, we're still talking the economy.
All right. Let me. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
35 trillion.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a big number. That's
Yeah.
a lot of decimal points. It's like that number is so big it beggars the imagination, really.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Enzo said we're going to eat up all the bandwidth with that number. Yeah, no kidding. That's crazy to think about. I don't know, man. I don't have a solution. I don't think there is a solution, no matter what anybody says. You know, I mean, our kids, grandkids are going to be paying on it.
Yeah.
Especially the more they spend. Because we can scream till we're blue in the face about them up in Washington, telling them, hey, stop spending. Stop spending, stop spending, stop spending. It doesn't matter. They're going to line their pockets. And I think that's an argument that can be truly made, is they're lining their pockets. I mean, not just speculation.
You don't go to a town where a middle class person has to make a minimum of $146,000 a year to be middle class, making only $172,000 a year and come out of a millionaire unless you're taking it from someplace.
Right.
You can't do that honestly.
No.
The math
Sure,
just
there's
does not up.
Trading that goes on. I get the stock market thing, all that. Plus, they're insider trading.
Yeah.
But it's legal for them.
But we'd go to jail for doing what they do.
Right. Exactly. And you can't tell me that when they're out, they still don't have buddies up there, in the lobbyist or whatever, saying, hey, invest in this, invest in that. Nothing's going to be done. See, just like my comment earlier, nothing is going to be done with this justice system.
No.
Nothing.
No justice for the rich. No. Or only for the rich.
Right. I mean, like you said, if we do something like that, we go to jail for a long time.
Yeah, ask Martha Stewart.
Right. And that's probably because she made somebody mad. Not necessarily because she was insider trading.
She probably did make somebody mad.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably all about getting even.
Oh, I'm sure. And how much of it did she have to give up?
I really don't have that number.
Right.
If anything, I don't know.
Right. Anyway, we'll jump to this. And I just found it interesting from the Daily Upside. It's talking about monetization of space. And we did this like an early episode.
This was an early episode. Go back into our catalog on Spreaker.
Yeah.
And check it out.
Yep. But it talks about the Earth depending on the space economy and satellites facilitating our financial systems, all that good stuff. Said Cold Wars and Tide Pods is the headline. Said ISS was hatched at the tail end of the Cold War by President Ronald Reagan, but construction didn't start until 1998. And the first astronauts didn't get there until 2000. By then, the Berlin Wall had fallen, and the ISS became a shining beacon of global cooperation in the heavens. What the ISS has shown in the intervening years is that having a space station is very useful for research and development. The effects of microgravity allow all sorts of research that would be impossible to replicate on Earth, including medical research, drug development, and most importantly, R&D for better laundry detergent. Tide signed a deal with NASA, which is the market for detergent astronauts can use in low-resource situations. Then talks about as the ISS reaches the end of its lifespan, there's several companies that have announced plans to put commercial space stations in orbit before the decade is out. It said Axiom Space, we know about Blue Origin, Sierra Space, Airbus Space, NanoRacks, and then it says the most ambitious project timeline-wise is being led by VAST, which is scheduled to launch on a SpaceX rocket no earlier than next year. Said the CEO, Jed McCaleb, is best known for being the founder and CTO of cryptocurrency Ripple. In a 2003 court filing, McCaleb said he's already committed up to $300 million of his personal wealth to Vast, adding, "To date, I have solely funded the enterprise and expect to continue to do so in the foreseeable future." Talking about the contract, the $843 million contract NASA signed with SpaceX. I mean, the price is coming down.
Yeah, it's getting cheaper to get into space.
You know, let me share this real quick. Yeah, no kidding. Lots of tide being used to clean the shorts off of those Boeing astronauts that are still stuck up there. And I seen an article where they're talking being stuck up there till the end of the year, or the first part of next year,
until they can get a Dragon up there.
Yeah. Boeing's just having a rough go, man.
They really are.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can see this very well or not. But this is the cost of cost to launch 1 kilogram of payload mass to low Earth orbit as part of a dedicated launch. The space shuttle in 1981 was $65,400 to launch 1 kilogram. All the way to 2018, now it's $1,500 a kilogram.
Now, I want to point something out. Think of how cheap this is when you consider how much our money has been devalued. So not only is the price much lower,
right,
number-wise, when you start adding in the inflation, it has gotten incredibly cheap. So I don't know what the exact numbers are, but if you were to compare the space shuttle era, what the dollar was worth, what we need to do is find out how much gold was worth and see how much it actually cost.
Yeah, I bet we can find out here. We'll see how much it was worth.
We can get a solid percentage there.
Let's see. See, 1981 gold price in today's dollars is the average price of gold was $459.16 per troy ounce.
All right. So, look. So that's the kind of inflation you're looking at. It's 5 times more expensive now. So,
so it's a lot cheaper. I mean,
it's a lot cheaper.
It's not even.
It wouldn't even show on this chart.
No, I mean, looking at it, I mean, right now the Falcon. This is 2018. The $1,500 per kilogram. I mean, you could nearly get 2 kilograms for the price of gold right now for an ounce of gold.
Yeah.
Compared to, was it 60? Hold on. What did I say it was?
400 and something.
Yeah.
For gold.
So 65, 400. Divide that by. I'll say 450. I don't remember what it was.
Something like that.
So you can send 1 kilogram for less than an ounce of gold, right? Or 2018, compared to in 1981. Let's see, it was 145 ounces to send 1 ounce, or to send 1 kilogram up into space.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the benefits from that will be amazing. Angel said, time to head out to the asteroids belt and start bringing back mountain-sized rocks of rhodium, for sure.
Sure. Well, I mean, look at it. There's already companies and entire nations looking at starting not small mining operations on the moon for rare earth elements because they've determined they're so close to the surface, it's easier to possibly send people out to the moon to collect these elements and bring them back to the earth, Plus, many of the elements that we are digging up for batteries, for electronics and stuff, many of these mining operations are incredibly and almost permanently destructive to nature.
Yep.
Take a look at a nickel mine sometime. It looks like the surface of the moon. Nothing grows there. So, yeah, if we can make it affordable to go to space, things could get a lot cheaper all over the world because materials became cheaper. And for those of you who are green thinking, it will be much greener because we're not having to disturb our own ecosystem.
Yep. It makes sense to me. But you know how I think.
And I will guarantee you that those mining operations will run on nuclear reactors.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap liquid salt thorium reactors.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. But my thing is, think about diamonds. There's that, I don't know how true it is. I want to preface that. But they say that the price of diamonds is artificially
Pardon us while Phil coughs up a lung on What If Tomorrow. Love you, buddy.
Yeah. Man. But they say the price of diamonds is kept artificially high to make them more valuable. The way my mind thinks is, what's the chance of them going up and mining a butt ton of whatever mineral that they want and keeping it artificially high?
They could. They're keeping silver artificially low right now.
Yeah, I asked a guy up in town here a couple of years ago. I was in there to buy some silver in the coin shop, and I asked him, so are they keeping this suppressed, the price suppressed? He said, oh, absolutely they are. That's what this guy does for a living. He's done it for decades.
Which also makes now a really good time to buy it while they're keeping it suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they stop, you're going to have more value for your investment.
Yeah, Enzo, he said the moon is a giant spaceship. You can't start disassembling the outer hull. He said, yes, I'm kidding. Oh,
I have read no less than 3 novels where that has been a premise. And some of them are considered classics now. So,
I don't know. Did you ever watch that movie Moonfall?
Moonfall. Yes, I believe I did.
It was a bad movie. I'm not going to lie. I had fun watching it. It was a fun movie because it took all the conspiracies about the moon and put them in one giant pile. The moon kept getting closer to Earth and all that. I don't want to give too much away. It's a good rainy day movie just to kick back and watch. Like in the fall when it's cold and rainy and crap, you don't want to go outside and do anything. It's a fun movie just to sit and watch.
Yeah. Just turn your brain off and enjoy.
Right. And that's what, we complain about Hollywood not having original movies. That was a pretty original movie. It wasn't great. It wasn't like an Oscar-worthy movie or, it was maybe a low B movie, in my opinion, but it was fun.
I just want to be entertained.
Right.
I can't watch TV or the movies anymore because all they want to do is try to teach me some social lesson. I don't want a social lesson. I want to see Blazing Saddles.
There you go. We need to make that happen. We need to make it happen. Do us like a Saturday, do a live stream, and just invite everybody to come hang out, and live stream it, and have people online watching it.
Making
just
fun of it.
Have fun. Yeah, that'd be fun.
You know what? We might have to pay for the license for that movie, but I bet we can.
Yeah, I wonder what it costs. We'll have to check
I bet it's not high.
Yeah. There was. There actually was a good anti-AI message.
So,
But yeah. No, it was fun. Okay, since we're in space, I'm going to play this last clip I've got. Now, all right, Jess is in. All right. So we got Enzo, we got Jess.
oh,
Now
I
just
bet
gotta
we've
have
got
a Saturday
more
off.
Weekend
So-
after next, we should all have a Saturday off.
Well, I'm going to be up in Wichita. Well, I'm taking the. Or is it?
How dare you have time with your family?
Yeah. Weekend after next. No, that'd be the following weekend. I think. Let me pull my calendar. Yeah. You're talking the 31st? On Saturday, the 31st?
Yeah.
We're off. We should be off then.
We should
see,
be,
I
yeah.
guess. I thought you were talking about 24th. Well, I'm taking the 24th off.
So am I.
Want to take the kids up to see the Blue Angels. So
I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, you told me that.
yeah, they're gonna be in Wichita.
That's my birthday weekend.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going to
Well,
be
take
old.
your wife up to see the Blue Angels. It's free.
There you go.
So, Enzo, you going to be there?
I bet he is. He may have had enough of airplanes. I don't know.
He may, yeah. I don't know. Kind of gets in your blood, but yeah, no, we're going to take the kids up to see the Blue Angels up in Wichita, hang out with Garrett. He's up there, so I hadn't seen him in a while. We're going to go hang out with him and watch the air show. So it'll be fun.
Nice.
But anyway, I want to share this video. Have you guys heard anything about the UFO being spotted at? Well, hey, now you don't have to work, Enzo. He
And you can just enjoy the fruits of other people's labor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree with that. Because we had to prepare for him and all that when I was on the base. But now you don't have to. You just go be a spectator. But anyway, have you seen the UFO video from the attempted President Trump assassination?
Yes, I saw it. I did not see the UFO.
Well, I'm going to share
But I
it.
was trying to look at it on my little screen, so
Yeah, it's quick. This is only like a 6-second video. Okay. But here we go. And slow down.
could be a UFO, could be a bug.
And it could very well be. But I think I've told you. But you know where my thought first went?
Drone.
Drone. Because we have the technology to try to, I don't know, you guys, if you listen to the show for a while, you know how I think. You know where my mind always goes. But we have drones. There's footage out there over in Ukraine where they're chasing people down with these drones and stuff. Who says they couldn't arm one and make that guy a freaking patsy?
Yeah, they absolutely could. I mean,
But you know what you don't hardly ever hear
what's that?
on the news about Trump's assassination? You don't hear nothing about the news.
No, it's
From-
crickets.
Mm-hmm. Because it gave him such a boost. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was my first thought. You know, right or wrong, I'm sure it probably is not. It's probably a bug or something like that, or I mean, a big bird, you know, farther away or something. I don't know. But yeah, Jess said a bird, bug, or drone. You know, and it very well could be. But from my understanding, there was no drone in the air. Not
They're
from
not
the Secret
supposed to.
Service. And, you know, but apparently they do have a division that flies drones. I don't know. I don't want to go into what we thought, you know, armchair quarterbacking and all that. There's people that know more about it than I do.
But it was an interesting video.
But it was. You know, I figured it'd be fun to kind of end on. You know, so I don't know. It almost frightens me to see how divided we are, and we've been divided for a long time.
We are. We
you
have
know,
been.
for sure.
For the last 20 years, at least.
Right. And I would agree with that. I mean, it wasn't as bad, but people have forgotten what it was like. You know, aside from us old guys,
Yeah.
you know. And I say old guys because I just turned 47, so.
You're just a youngster.
So you're going to turn old this birthday? Is
I'm going to turn 57.
Yeah, you're going to be old.
I'm
Well-
closer to 60 than I am to 50.
Right. But see, you also qualify for the senior discount.
Yeah, now that I'm growing my mustache back where I've got some actual hair, people can see the gray. Yeah. Hell, I was your age when I got my first senior discount.
Nice. Yeah, my daughter keeps calling me the elderly. So
The elderly.
yeah. Yeah, she told my son that I need to respect that he needed to respect the elderly. And I'm like, I'm not old.
Well, to them you are.
I guess so. I guess so. You know, I guess it's all the gray, you know, but man, do you have anything else?
Let's see. I've got a lot of negative stuff I didn't really want to talk about. I don't know. I could get so deep in some of this stuff, and I'm really not sure I want to give myself an ulcer.
Understand.
So,
Yeah, it's been rough. I mean, because all that right now is in the news is election coverage or lack of or whatever you want to
8
say.
election
And
years.
it's just the ones that I shown were more of what we've talked about in the past. You know,
I do have one thing.
Okay.
Something that we've talked about that somebody else at Fox News, in fact, wanted to comment on. So we talked about it first. Remember this. I'm going to share a screen. And so here we go. Disrespectful and aggressively left-wing advertising spurs growth of parallel economy. So this is something that we talked about last year, I believe.
Let me see if I can find it.
So we were talking about a parallel economy, and there you go. Now Fox News is on board with us. So we're predicting the future, Phil.
Just watching the trends, man.
Yeah.
Let me
We
see
have
what,
a thumb on the pulse of America.
yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Ah, dang it. Even when it was on. We did.
Oh, it's been a while. It shouldn't be too far back on our catalog.
Oh, not that one, dummy. You gotta be smarter than the. That's right. We're the future gurus, Jess.
We are. Maybe it's farther back than I thought. Which puts us way farther ahead.
Parallel economy. October
Yep.
20th of 2022. That was almost 2 years ago.
That was almost 2 years ago. We were talking about the parallel economy. So
Yep.
that caught my eye. And I said, you know what? We do need to talk about that. So remember your parallel economy show. Go back and watch that one. I don't want to rehash it, but it
Right.
is a good show.
And there's actually now, it's blowing up. I mean, we're
Yeah,
back
it
on a rumble.
really is.
Coin, I think, is another credit card company that is conservative ran. You have several, like Patriot Mobile, phone company. There's tons of businesses starting up that are, opposite of that go against everything that the mainstream is
AMAC,
pushing.
which is instead of going to AARP, you can go to AMAC.
Are you a member?
No, not yet. I feel like that's going to make me even older, Phil.
I'm sorry, buddy. I had to make that jab.
Well, especially after last week, I'm feeling really old and depressed. So
Oh, I'm sure. I'm glad you're doing better, man.
I am. I'm just going to have to be. I got to remember I'm not a young buck anymore.
I'm a middle-aged buck.
Yeah,
All right.
I've had one antler knocked off, and I'm limping on 2 feet. So,
But man, I don't have much else. It was kind of a quick episode, but that's all right. We're kind of getting back in the swing of things, and I'm gonna.
I didn't want to be too depressing.
No, but that's just kind of what's going on in the world. I mean, like I said, we've kind of, or for me, for sure, the last few weeks I've checked out, kind of re-engage, kind of get things priority-wise and all that good stuff. I am going to sit down and shoot off some emails about bringing some more guests on. It's so much better to have guests on. And
it is.
Unfortunately, the last time we had Mark on, that was just a rough episode. I apologize for it again. I know we did it earlier on. It was just a rough episode. They don't always go great. I mean, you have technical difficulties when it's nothing but tech. So we are fortunate to be able to do this. That way,
I think AI was trying to get us.
I think so. I think we were trying to be shut down.
Yep.
That's my story.
Before we go, I do want to share some stuff about Paracon on here.
Go for it.
So there we go. 2024 Bordertown Paracon. You can get on here and scan the QR code for our link. For those of you who are listening, you can go to YouTube or Facebook or on our page and scan the QR code, get all the information. We've got a lot of stuff going on. 40 guest speakers, 3 panels, 5 presentations. We're going to have booths and vendors and tarot readers and mediums and concessions. It is going to be, it gets better every year.
Yes, it does.
And I'm just super excited.
Yeah, I mean, the girls put some phenomenal work into it. They work hard all year on it. Highly recommend if this is your thing, if you love the paranormal or the weird, go. I would highly recommend going. It's a lot of fun, great people, good atmosphere.
It is the only free Paracon in the continental United States that we're aware of. Last year, we for sure knew it was the only, but it's the only free Paracon. The presenters, the panelists, and the speakers are all encouraged to walk around on the floor and visit with the folks who stop by. It's more about getting people from the different cliques, if you want to call them that, together. So you can get UFO guys talking to Bigfoot guys, talking to ghost guys, talking to Chupacabra guys, and everybody gets to compare notes and realize that we're all in this together. It's all connected somehow. And then the public is invited to hang out with these guys while they learn from each other. And, it's a great opportunity to get questions answered, to learn how to do stuff. We've got some great drawings, door prizes, and raffles. Come on out and have a good time.
Yeah, and it is. It's a great time. Christy Campbell, she's an awesome person. She's been on the show here.
She is the sweetest human being on the face of the world.
Ken Rommiller is a great guy. All those guys.
He is. He's fun.
Not had a bad experience there. Everybody's open, willing to chat with you. There's some great Q&As that happen in the panels and on the presenters, all that stuff. I would highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Just if you want a good day to go out and just lose yourself in this stuff and just have fun, maybe learn something.
Right. And like I said, we've got some great bags for raffles. We've got a UFO bag that's got stuff for hunting UFOs. We've got a ghost hunting bag with tools for hunting ghosts. And
Bigfoot, wasn't it last year?
We had a Bigfoot bag. Go to our site, check it out. We'll have all of them listed. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's well worth it. I mean, it's a good time.
So
there's no animosity anywhere. I mean,
no.
it's worth going and hanging out. It's a good day just to hang out and have a good time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And speaking of that, I'm sure you'll hear more about it on the Bordertown Strange podcast coming up on Wednesday, I believe.
Yes, Wednesday.
I think 7 p.m.
7
go over
p.m.
there, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. Definitely Pam, Jess, Mark, you're probably on it. They're doing good things over there. I'm happy for them. They're growing. So it's and not only that, but at the Paracon, hopefully this year he'll be back. But Enzo, our favorite, Hawaiian shirt wearing paranormal enthusiast.
Our UFO expert, he is indeed going to be there. He will be moderating our UFO panel this year.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
So that is a really treat. Hopefully at some point we can get him to do a presentation for us. Possibly next year or I'm not sure when, but I really want him to do that because he is so knowledgeable and he just blows my socks off every time we have him on.
Yep. Jess just put up, she said Wednesday, 7 p.m. Time Anomalies Part 2 for the Bordertown Strange Paracon. So, yeah, come check them out. A lot of fun. Enzo, I'm going to have to find my Hawaiian shirt. I about bought one this weekend. You've inspired me to improve my wardrobe.
Right. Same. I had to buy one so I could match. So right. I could be like my brother.
Right. And just for the people, the panelists and presenters and all that, we're doing a big cookout out here at my place. I don't know what we're going to have yet, and I really honestly haven't thought about it. So any suggestions, I'll take them. I know last year I did pulled pork and chicken, wasn't it?
The chicken was to die for. I know you don't like chicken, but it was so good, Phil.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it and figure it out. I might still have a shoulder from my pig.
There you go.
I know I got a ham. I don't know. But we'll figure something out.
It'll be good. Let me know if you need help with that.
All right, we'll do, man.
All right.
Oh, yeah, he's going to teach Skywatching 101 that night out here at the house. We're bringing a smart telescope for a sky tour for a cookout at Phil's. Yep. My little telescope is just an old cheap one I bought for the kids, to check stuff out with. But that'd be cool. I'll be looking forward to that.
I've got a spotter scope I'm going to use.
Cool. Hopefully, didn't I see somewhere where it's not supposed to be a full moon this time?
I think so. Last time it was a full moon. It was really
bright.
not conducive to.
Yeah, it was a bright full moon. And but yeah, it's cool out at my house because it's dark. There's hardly any light pollution, so it's pretty cool to do some sky watching out here. Hopefully, it's a good clear night.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I don't have anything else. I know we went from preparedness to the paranormal, but that's all right.
There's nothing
Because
wrong
tho-
with that. You should be
tho-
prepared for the paranormal,
That's right. I mean, zombie apocalypse.
right? It's a thing. Haven't
It
you
is.
watched?
We did a show on that.
Haven't you watched The Walking Dead?
Right. But everybody, thanks again for hanging out. I really enjoyed being back. Yeah, we saw a lot of satellites, even with a full moon. We did. We saw both space stations too, the Chinese and ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out in the chat. For all the new subscribers, I hope you enjoy it. See what am I missing? Yeah, check out On the Fringe next Monday, and then it's What If Tomorrow on the Fringe on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to catch us on YouTube over there. If I don't have anything going on, I may jump on. I don't know. We'll see what's happening.
That's cool.
Who knows? And then, yeah, check out Bordertown Strange coming Wednesday. So,
Yep.
See you,
It'll
Sylvian.
be a good time.
See you, Enzo. See you, Jess. So, with that being said, everybody, thanks again for hanging out, and we'll see you next episode.
Y'all have a good night.